Sayang.
Ano. Opo, sayang. Next time daw po.
So, ito na yung launching natin.
Live na po, Mr. Chair.
Alright. Wala pa. Ito na. Share. Ay, magandang hapon. Ito na ang ating sino na bang nandito? Si Bro Patrick Sulit. Happy New Year, Mr. Patrick. Ang ating masugid na tagapagsubaybay. At may isa pa si Mr. Ben Izra Dakudaw. Bye, mayong hapon bye. Og Happy New Year ni mo diha. Si Sir Tyrion. Happy New Year. Si Al La Chica, good afternoon din sa iyo at Happy New Year din. Eric, ang ating patikan na taga CSOG. Good afternoon, brother. Si Randy Devi Bar, magandang hapon. And Happy New Year sa inyong lahat. Early bird lagi. Oy, Mr. Vice Chair, magandang hapon sa iyo.
Magandang hapon, Mr. Chair. Mr. Kit.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Bumabata si Vice Chair.
Kapagupit lang, Mr. Chair. Kaya ganyan. At magandang hapon sa ating mga ka-PICSPro. Happy New Year. Pinabasa ko yung yung study ni Teacher Kit, no?
Oo.
So maganda yung mga results, no?
Ano kasi to, para lang sa ating mga early birds, no? So kailan natin umpisahan to, Teacher Kit? 1 year ago ba or
Malapit na po mag 1 year.
malapit mag 1 year, no? So
around March last
22?
year po.
Last
Opo.
year, grabe, ang haba pala nito.
2022.
No, ang haba nito. So finally magkakaroon tayo ng kasagutan kung bakit ba wala tayong training framework na standard or effective. Ano ba ang kasama yon sa research mo, Teacher Kit, no? Yung anong mga limitations or challenges?
Yes, sir. Tsaka, kumbaga, anong status ng mga students, tsaka yung current professionals, paano ba sila nakakarating sa pathway para maging cybersecurity professional? Parang, paano ba yun? Paano ba maging katulad ni na Sir Angel at ni na Sir Oscar at ng mga PICSPro BOD din? So, yun po yung mga part nung sasagutin natin today.
Maganda yung perspective ng learner sa teacher. Diba? Kasi kailangan makita ng two angles para ma-solve natin yung problema, 'di ba, Teacher Kit? Diba?
Opo.
And of course, the readiness of the infrastructure ng mga paaralan. Like yung the laboratories, diba? The curriculum, handa nga ba? And is it based on what is we consider as world-class training, no? That will enable the students to be ready when they finish the course, no?
Yes.
Oo. At
So,
nandito na si the ever
uy,
beautiful.
Miss Mia, how are you?
Wow, sabi na
Good
nga eh.
afternoon. Wow.
Maganda
Yun.
Na-miss
ka
kayo.
naman talaga. Na-miss ka na namin, hindi ka na
Sir,
nagpapakita.
I miss you.
Nagtatago ka na sa golf namin, ha?
Hindi.
Ay. Siguro,
Anong oras na ba? Oh, 3 minutes pa.
3 minutes.
Si Mr. Press ba? Baka
si
nasa
Mr.
Senado
Press
pa.
mukhang busy sa Senado. Kaya nag-beg off siya. Magandang balitaktakan sana yun. Kasi alam mo naman si Mr. President, di ba?
Yeah.
Sa mga ganito, siya ang so siguro para sa kaalaman ng ating mga panonood, no? So last year we commissioned Teacher Kit to conduct a study for us. So as the title of the Kwentuhang Cybersecurity ngayon, no? Yung framework. So si Teacher Kit will be walking us through kung ano yung proseso na ginawa niya, the challenges and the challenges and status ng mga estudyante. Bakit ba lagi nating sinasabi every year na we need more cybersecurity professionals? So parang we are not producing enough cybersecurity professionals, no, or the real cybersecurity professionals. So this study is very important for all of us to understand the situation. And if you have questions, suggestions, reactions, please do not hesitate to send through the message box. And we will have Teacher Kit address and with our help also to explain. So magandang timing kasi kanina nakita ko yung post ni Manong Art Samaniego, yung batikan din na manunulat, no, about cyber security and cybercrime related stories and writings. At sinabi niya na we need to develop more cyber security professionals. So nag-comment naman ako, qualified cyber security professionals. So nag-comment ako, how to qualify qualified cyber security professionals. So yun, mukhang meron tayong hindi standardized na definition. Pag nag-certify ka ba, qualified ka na? Di ba? Pag nag-ano ka ba ng ganito, qualified ka na. So ano ba talaga? So ito yung baseline natin. And this is a product of 9-month study, Teacher Kit. 8 to 9 months, no?
8 to 9 months.
8 to 9 months.
Siguro, Mr. Chair, no, Teacher Kit, Mia, bago simulan niya, no, Teacher Kit, siguro gusto ko lang, kasi I was reading yung yung World Economic Forum. So it's happening now in Davos, no, Switzerland. There is a study that they released, no. It's called the Web Global Cybersecurity Outlook for 2023. And I would just like to mention the cybersecurity skill gap globally today, based on that study, is 2.27 million, no,
Yes.
jobs. So magandang data siguro ito para as a starter, no, and the importance of topic to the Philippine Academe and to all Filipinos, no, are aspiring to get much higher paying job in cybersecurity. Yun lang, Teacher Kit. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Magandang starting point nga po yun. Kasi cybersecurity talaga as an industry not just affects the Philippines. But of course, tayo, we will focus on the Philippines kasi this is our, our country and our homeland. But the gap in terms of professionals is worldwide. So every year, the gap is not being filled, it's not being met. And other countries then are doing their part so that they can supply that demand, that big demand or that big gap in the system or in the industry, of course. So for today, what I'll be sharing is kind of like a continuation then, I guess, of some previous cases, especially the ones that tell about yung sa government initiatives tungkol sa cybersecurity. Kasi cybersecurity for me is a system effort. So si Chair mentioned earlier na the student, then the schools, then the whole academe, tapos yung industry din. Talagang lahat kasi yan magkakakabit. So it's like a nest entangled with each other. So if one part of the system does not work, syempre magkakaroon talaga ng gaps within the process. So for today, we'll be tackling that. So what's the
That's a very good
status?
point. That's a very good point, Teacher Kit. Alam mo, Vice Chair, I think ang pagkukulang natin, when we talk about the ecosystem of the cybersecurity as a whole, we only talk about the professionals. We only talk about the tools. We only talk about the vendors, the policies, the strategies. But itong sinabi ni Teacher Kit, yung supply natin nagagaling sa estudyante. And yung estudyante nasa school ito. At yung school may mga teachers. Diba? So, yung value chain natin dyan, pag may isa doon na sabi ni Teacher Kit na pag may isa doon na hindi working, then the value chain is broken.
Yes.
And that's why. Okay, so without further ado, so we are here again. Magandang hapon mga ka-PICSPro, no? By the way, meron tayong bagong member pala, no? So hindi muna natin sila bagong member ng core team. Hindi muna natin i-introduce kasi hindi pa official, no? Pero meron tayong exciting. So si Teacher Kit naman ay naging part ng ating team since last year, and we asked her to do this study, no? So kilala nyo naman ako. Ako ang chairman. Nandito ang ating vice chairman at nandito ang ating Miss Universe na PICSPro Universe, Miss Mia. And of course, si Teacher Kit. Teacher Kit, take it away.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Okay, so cybersecurity in the academe. So first, parang ikukwento ko lang po kung anong nangyari dun sa study namin at ano po ba yung goal. So when we started this project, we had the following goals in mind. So first is to describe yung current status of cybersecurity in Philippine schools, particularly yung in senior high school. So why senior high school? Siyempre, dun tayo sa pinaka-fresh ng gagraduate, tsaka yung pipili na ng courses in college, di ba? But in totality, cybersecurity can actually start kahit in the younger years. But for today, we'll be focusing on the senior high school. So what particularly in the senior high school? So practices in teaching that are related to cybersecurity, ideal competencies, and also ideal competencies of a cybersecurity officer in the Philippines. So ito naman, from the professionals themselves, ano ba yung ideal, ano ba yung kailangan ng isang cybersecurity officer or professional? So from these descriptions, we gain insights from what we have learned and action points of future directions or suggestions, and hopefully future studies pa na ma-inspire in IT professionals and those in the cybersecurity industry kasi we need more studies as we go along. Okay. So cybersecurity in the academe, primary grades. So computer-related subjects are actually starting or actually begin from grade 4 pa to grade 6. So they tackle this in HELE, or EPP. So okay naman to na at least primary grades merong exposure ang ating kids sa sa ICT, sa technologies, but there are some potential issues to this. So I don't think I need data pa to convince everyone na most children, especially those in cities, in the metro, have earlier exposure and inclination to technology as to when they are taught. So grade 4, pero since the pandemic also, maraming kids na nag-shift to online learning. So they use Zoom, they use devices, they use gadgets every time. But then, yung proper handling, security issues, those are not taught to them, even though they are using it. So it's good that it is practiced in the schools, but yun, kumbaga yung terms of use, kids are actually exposed to technology even earlier. So that's something that parents, teachers, and school administrators can think about. So after the primary years, transition na sila. So from grade 4 to 6, pagdating nila ng grade 7 to 10, there's technology and livelihood education. So medyo lumilevel up na, dumadagdag na yung tech subjects and courses. And eventually when they get to grade 9 to 12, dito na yung merong TLE, and then yung mga mag-TTVL track can opt for certain certifications that are somewhat related to cybersecurity. So from here, from grade 9 to 12, ito yung mga pwede nilang pagpilian na courses or certifications under TESDA for ICT track. So if you'll notice, animation, broadband installation, nothing actually directly links as a cybersecurity certification. So they are parang separate skills, and they can choose which ones they want. But as of the moment, it's not a unified certification in cybersecurity that would allow someone to practice in the Philippines kaagad. So that's one thing that we noticed as we review the data from our research. So that brings us to the question na what can we do to make cybersecurity more teachable and accessible, especially in schools? Lalong-lalo na ulit dun sa nasabi nating level kanina na senior high school. So with that in mind, we asked the teachers. So we had participants from senior high school, and they were both from public and private schools para may equal representation tayo kahit papano. So we talked to them through focus group interviews or key informant interviews if they were not available sa group setting via Zoom. And we did a thematic analysis based on their responses. So thematic analysis, so we get the responses and we check if meron bang mga common or similar dun sa mga sinabi nila. At ang lumabas na results ay, wait lang, bakit nagkakaganto yung, sorry. Okay. Sorry for the technical difficulty. Ayan, so ito na yung generated themes. So there were 2 subjects that were deemed critical or very related to cybersecurity, but the subject cybersecurity itself is not being taught in senior high school as per the teacher respondents that we had. So given the time then, we had 8 respondents, but yun nga, if there are any educators here, researchers who are hearing this talk right now, this is a good venue to research in the future with more respondents probably. So from the teachers themselves, empowerment technologies tsaka MIL, yung dalawang subjects na pinaka-related sa cybersecurity. And it is the teachers' initiative na kung ituturo pa ba nila ng mas malalim yung cybersecurity or imo-modify nila yung curriculum or syllabus ng students, but it's an individual effort or it's dependent on the teacher and not really on the school. So from the teachers themselves too, what they need to teach cybersecurity would be teacher equipping and resources. So for public schools, the issues that were mentioned were mostly access to good internet, access to devices that are suitable for internet use, and sa naman sa lalo sa provincial area, so mostly that's their challenge, yung ratio of computers or gadget to the child. So mostly they have to schedule it. And then of course when the pandemic broke out, hindi na rin nila makontrol yung yung students. If they had no internet access, they have to adjust because the resources are really limited. They cannot force students to buy gadgets since yun nga, they're also trying to provide for their family. So the teachers really have to adjust depending on the context of their students, kung saang school sila, kung ano yung environment nila. So that's why I mentioned earlier that it's really a system issue, teaching cybersecurity. So another theme that arose was its relevance of cybersecurity. So all of the teachers who participated in our study had or found value with cybersecurity, not just for the students, but for themselves din. So, bakit daw mahalaga or bakit tingin nilang mahalaga yung cybersecurity? First is because of how much the students use them. So, for studying, for personal use, social media, parang magkakabit na siya sa buhay ng students for online banking. Lalo nung nag-pandemic na we are really stuck to our phones and to our gadgets. We are dependent on them for mostly everything. And with that, since they use them regularly, there must be awareness and a way to protect the children or the students. And then a suggestion that was offered to make it more teachable or I guess more palatable to the students is to have it as an elective for those who are more interested than the others. And what I liked about this suggestion is it highlights also the need for the schools to step up. Kumbaga, if it's an elective, then the schools can provide what the students need. They can plan ahead for how many students will take the course, or they can pre-select certain students who like show more inclination to cybersecurity than the others. Since, especially for public schools, we cannot force the students to really have gadgets of their own all the time with internet connection. So those are still some issues. And another suggestion or recommendation is having cybersecurity as an integrated discipline for all. So some schools do practice this na if it's math, it can integrate English skills sa mga word problems. If it's science, if it's reading, it can integrate science subjects. And this reminds me of a program that DepEd did before, like for reading. So for me, cybersecurity can be integrated as something that can be followed up by teachers in all subjects. So if they do research for a certain subject, the teachers can remind them that, oh, these are ways to be safe. So it doesn't have to be just one subject. So it has to be like an initiative for all. The teacher should be aware so that they can also instill that knowledge to their students. So it's something na everyone's business as per the teacher. So not just the students, not just the teachers, but everyone at all who has a gadget. So it's a matter of importance talaga. So ito yung vision na nakuha namin out of what the teacher said and also from the data we gathered based on the status of cybersecurity in our schools versus how cybersecurity is being taught in other countries. So, how do we integrate cybersecurity for K-12? Ito yung namin long-term vision na with the advocates help, cybersecurity advocates help sa mga PICSPro na gusto natin gawin into a reality. So first of all is the ones with the arrow is like it's for everyone, regardless as to what level you are. There should be cybersecurity awareness campaigns, career orientations, and talks. And of course, teachers really play a big part as cybersecurity advocates. So these are some recommendations or suggestions na for primary grades, kahit pasundot-sundot lang na short stories, play-based introduction to cybersecurity. For some countries, they do have apps or games para matuto yung kids na how to be secure or to teach certain cybersecurity concepts. So we need more content development on that para sa primary grades. For junior high schools naman, we can have cybersecurity competitions, integrate more cybersecurity related projects, and practices across all subjects. And ito na ulit, balik na ulit tayo sa ating mga senior high school students. Pwede ring i-integrate yung cybersecurity competitions, more electives, and internship opportunities, of course, so that they get a feel of the real world when it comes to cybersecurity. So again, with our initial statement, so cybersecurity is really something I think for me it's developmental and it's systemic. So first, we need to align yung academic objectives with the industry standards. So that's why we also did a two-part study. Kasi what would it matter to us if we know kung ano nangyayari sa schools, pero ito ba yung expectations din nung industry? Like when they graduate, this is what Mr. Chair is also saying, is it enough? Or are their efforts enough after that? So with this, we need more linkages with the industry and the academe and the government as well. And so kung lahat yan mag-work together, then it would be better. It would be more sustainable to produce more professionals in the long run. So of course, another is educating the teacher, creating more advocates for cybersecurity. So our hope here is kapag sinabing cybersecurity, walang magtatanong ng ano yun. So sana ang goal is pag sinabing cybersecurity, oo, maganda yan, o kailangan natin yan. So sana kahit yung background itself ng cybersecurity, magkaroon ang lahat ng Filipinos, especially the ones who are in our schools, who are going to be professionals in the future. Okay, so that's our first study, and now we go to the second part, so which is the industry naman. So this is just a snapshot of what it's like to be a cybersecurity professional in the Philippines. So for this study naman, we had 60 respondents who answered a questionnaire regarding preferred competencies or the most essential competencies a cybersecurity professional must have. So snapshot lang ito ng current demographic ng Philippine cybersecurity landscape. So 90% ng cybersecurity professionals in the Philippines are males and 10% are females. So yun, medyo male-dominated ang field since later on, you'll find more data on that when I go to the next slide. And in terms of age, the youngest participant we had is 20 years old, while the oldest was 61. And yun, the biggest chunk would be those with ages from 32 to 37 years old. Yan. But mostly, I guess, puro young professionals pa ang nasa cybersecurity industry. And in terms of educational information, the list here shows most of the degrees that they finish. So highest natin ang BS Electronics and Communications Engineering, IT, Computer Engineering, Computer Science. And if you'll notice, mostly engineering, IT, and computer-related courses yung pinaka madami or pinaka mabenta in terms of transitioning to cybersecurity. But an interesting fact here is maraming diverse courses din kaming nakuha. So other than the tech-related courses, may mga philosophy, may political science, may accountancy, diba? So it's not just a degree, hindi siya but we don't have to bottle it up na pang engineering lang yung cybersecurity, hindi siya pang teacher, hindi siya pang ibang profession. So if you're interested in it and if you want to pursue it as a career, there are also ways. Kasi kahit mga ilang percent lang yung mga yan, naging cybersecurity professional sila. So there is a way to be a cybersecurity professional. And in terms of the educational attainment, most of them have a bachelor's degree, then master's, and a few with vocational courses. Also, if you'll notice, one interesting fact is among our respondents, no one graduated with a degree specializing in cybersecurity. Mostly, puro yun nga, tech-related courses. Walang BS Cybersecurity. Okay. But, later on, mamaya na ulit yun. Mamaya ulit yung next point ko. And, next is the essential knowledge, skills, and abilities as perceived by cybersecurity professionals. So, based on the long list that we have on what is essential for them, so these are the top 5 essential skills that they define. So, first is conducting vulnerability scans and recognizing vulnerabilities in the systems. So, knowing different kinds of attacks and recovery, understanding network protocols, and knowledge of computer network defense policy. So I'm more of a teacher, so this one hindi ko siya ma-explain in detail, but I know the cybersecurity professionals, ang mga ka-PICSPro natin, alam na nila to, makita pa lang nila. So these are 5 integral skills that they have defined from the study. And yan, going back to our point na walang directly gumraduate as a cybersecurity. So here are some known ways, or these are some ways we have searched on how to get a degree or how to transition to a career in cybersecurity in the Philippines. So one path is if you're a senior high school graduate or student, so it can be ICT, STEM, or general academic strand, you can opt for a bachelor's degree. So here are some universities that offer it. So ano to, shortlist pa lang siya, but we think there may be more in the future. There might be more in the future. So we're not sure, but we're hoping also that more schools get interested in having a program for cybersecurity. And yan, when you have a bachelor's degree, you can take it higher to a master's program or opt for certifications or short courses. Another is, what if graduate na ako, di na ako pwedeng cybersecurity professional? It's too late for me. Hindi. That's not true. Okay? No matter your profession, you can take short courses, certificate programs, and then, of course, practice yourself in the field and apply yourself in the field para maging cybersecurity professional. So these are a short list again of some certificate programs or some schools offering short courses or certificate programs. And again, kung gusto nyo pang magpakadalubhasa sa cybersecurity, maraming certifications and master's programs. So while we were also doing the studies, we noticed that there are actually a lot of certifications that are fully online, but most of them are not really Philippine-based. So mostly other countries yung nagho-host. So, and it does require some investment then. So with this one, we did focus on universities. Kasi for senior high school students, they would mostly opt for the traditional schools rather than fully online schools. But for professionals, for other professionals who are already working, who may already have families, the short courses may be a better option for them. So depends, I guess, on your needs, where you are in life. So there can be a path for you in cybersecurity. Okay. And here, additional to the work information of cybersecurity professionals. So most of them, again, are coming from IT services and consulting, and followed by bank and financial institutions, government agencies, the Academe, NGOs, outsourcing, and freelancing. So one thing then that I noticed with this, so di ba, first is IT services and consulting. So that one I think is expected because they are very high security when it comes to their data. So sumunod ang mga banks and financial institutions. So why? So if you ask yourself why, so syempre banks, they have to protect the data and the privacy of their clientele. So government agencies, so napakalaking bagay para malaman na safe yung data mo, 'di ba, sa bank, sa government, sa schools, na hindi siya makukuha ng unnecessarily. So if you'll notice, the study makes sense that these were the ones, or these were the major work information that came out. Okay, and as for the job titles, we noticed also that most are working as IT security analysts, followed by IT consultants and senior managers. So, yun, yung cybersecurity specialist, medyo ano pa siya. It's not that big of a chunk yet in terms of job title use. So I think it's IT security analyst can be parang leaning more of the general side and can practice also other work. Okay, so yun, dami ko nang sinabi. Pwede po kayong mag-question. I'll try my best to answer them also. So, sa dami-dami po ng sinabi ko, ito po yung some recommendations pa namin. So, ano pa bang kailangan sa Academe? So, ano siya parang when I also took this project, this inspired me because I think this is something that will benefit a lot of students, a lot of people. And as a teacher, I believe then na the teachers can equip the students if they are equipped. So, part of our recommendation is teacher equipping. So, if there are ways that we can reach to our academicians na make this part of we can convince academicians to make this part of their curriculum, to make this part of their priority for the teachers, I think they can instill this to the students. So, and then next one is do more, talk more. So, kami sa PICSPro, we're doing our part like with these little things na our Kuwentuhang Cybersecurity, our like meetings, our events. So it's our role, especially if you're in the cybersecurity industry, to parang spread the word about what you're doing. So it's also on to us na parang pag tinanong ka din na cybersecurity ano yun. So parang let's make it more relatable to those who are not practicing, so we can create more advocates to spread the cybersecurity ba. So why is it important? Why do we need this? So I think that's something we can work on. And the third one, power up. So again, linkages and partnerships between schools, government, industry, and cybersecurity nonprofits like PICSPro. So kung magkakaroon pa ng maraming PICSPro na organization, that would be great kasi mas dadami tayo na makakapag-spread ng awareness tungkol sa cybersecurity. Mas maraming makakagawa rin ng other studies kagaya ng nagawa namin because we need more of that. We need pa more. So actually yan, it's skipping to the last part, study pa more literature and publication of studies on Philippine cybersecurity. So if you're an IT professional doing your thesis, doing your case studies, or doing your capstone projects, yun, sana mas maraming ma-inspire to study how cybersecurity is in the Philippines. Kasi right now, there are not a lot yet, but given the gap in the industry, in the number of professionals we need, sana mas study pa natin siya para alam natin kung paano i-fill yung gap. And last one, girl power, more female representation. So we hope na yun din, through our talks, there are more women who participate because it would also create a ripple who would inspire girls na pwede pala akong mag-cybersecurity, hindi pala siya pang lalaki lang or hindi pala siya pang male lang. So, because there's also an impact if there are less women who represent the field. And that's it po. If you have any questions, I will try my best to answer them, and if I cannot, let us find out together. Thank you.
Wow, thank you. Parang naano ako doon sa extent ng result ng study, no? First time din namin nakita yung full result ng study nung ginawa ni Teacher Kit, no? Pero comment ko lang doon sa girl power. Dito sa PICSPro, overpowered ang lalaki. 5 lang kaming lalaki, ilang kayong babae? I think you are 8 yata, no? Including si Len, si Lorraine, no? Si Teacher Kit, and we have a new one din, girl din, no? So girl power malakas dito sa PICSPro officers. Pagdating naman sa NCR chapter, parang overpowered din yung mga lalaki na officers doon, no? Uh, so yes, we are a believer doon sa girl power na yon. Definitely we need more. Kaya ibanggitin natin yung WISAP, yung Women in Security Alliance Philippines. Yan din ang kanilang gustong mangyari, no, to empower more women in cybersecurity, and we are in full support to that. Okay, so wala yata tayong question, pero may ano dito si ayun, may question yata BP Mia.
Yes,
Ito
Mr.
si
Chair.
Christopher Reyes, no?
Yes. So, hi Christopher Reyes. So, sabi niya, here in the Philippines, I think it's a comment, no? Yung mga company, nag-hire ng mga cybersecurity professionals, mostly gusto nila BS grads. Unlike in other countries, kahit senior high grad or vocational grad, basta may certification like ISC2, CC, or may alam sa networking, hinahire na nila.
Well, tayo naman, believer din tayo dito, no? In fact, isa ito sa naging subject topic natin nung last na board meeting, if you remember, Vice Chair, na we cannot limit the people joining in our profession in cybersecurity to bachelor's degree holders or BS graduates, no? Ako nga, I believe even senior high school, if you've gone through, and this is very timely, no, because PICSPro is going to launch our PICSPro Cybersecurity Certified Professional, which will directly address yung sinasabi natin na pag-graduate mo ba, hireable ka na ba agad? At kung ma-hire ka, can you hit the ground running? Which is, that is very important, no? Kasi from experience namin, kami ni VP Alex, we've been hiring fresh grads. And maganda yung point mo kanina, Teacher Kit, because we also do not limit our choices to BS IT, BS ECE. No, kung interesado ka at may hugot ka sa buhay, may pinaglalaban ka, malakas ka, dito ka sa amin sa cybersecurity, because we have an institutionalized training. Basta the qualities that we are looking for, na number one, malakas ka, matindi ka, matibay ka, at nangangailangan ka ng trabaho, gusto mong matuto, yan yung mga qualities na gano'n, no? So it's very very interesting point in your study, Teacher Kit. Vice Chair?
Yeah, saka Mr. Chair, I think the other courses might bring some of the non-technical skills that are required in cybersecurity. Sabi nga natin, may empathy, may communications, knowledge in law, knowledge in psychology, it's about people, etc. So kaya it's not limiting, but it's actually expansive, no, when it comes to the cybersecurity profession. Actually, binabasa ko yung comment ni Miss Arlene Monge. One of the challenges of the Philippine education system nowadays, it's alignment with the demands of the industry. So, ang ibig pang sabihin nito is demanding yung ating industry when it comes to the skills required by a graduating student to be absorbed by the industry. Siguro.
Sorry, Vice Chair. Maganda itong point ni Miss Arlene, no? Ito din ang lagi nating pinag-uusapan, be.
Correct.
Yung mga nagtuturo ng cybersecurity, ang tinuturo ba nila ay yung kailangan ng industry? Diba? Pagka naging certified ka ba nitong isang certification program, yun na ba yung kailangan ni industry? Kasi in my experience, we are not hitting the target. And in my experience in hiring people who are certified, they cannot hit the ground running. So there is a misalignment, no, kung ano yung tinuturo. Sabi ko nga, 'di ba, yung OJT program natin, no, na instead of doing just 200 hours, 400 hours OJT program. Sa amin, we opt to have you for 6 months. Kasi embed ka talaga sa operations because it's the operations that you need. No? Yun yung magandang point dito. Ito ang kailangan i-address talaga. It's not just, diba? Teachers, they usually teach because based on what they want to teach. But in cybersecurity, is it what the student need or needs when he graduates and applies for a job? Diba? Imagine you spent 4 years in college and just for you to learn again.
Kaya Mr. Chair, di ba, we talk about how we can actually bridge the lack, anong ang tawag natin dito, yung what is lacking after graduation to the demands of the industry, just like what you were saying. Kasi nga, sabi mo I think PLDT as an example and other other companies, they have their own program like OJT program, but I think the problem is how do we scale it, diba?
Yes.
I think this is the reason why we are existent as an advocacy group, because I think the industry needs, and the whole Philippines need us to help in scaling solving the problem, so to speak, so bridging the gap in terms of the skills of the graduating students to what the industry needs. And I think maybe we can mention about the training framework that we will be executing for PICSPro, for our members, and hopefully that will help in scaling, sabi nga natin, the need, the skills need of the industry, just like
Mia.
Yes, Mr. Chair, actually, this is I think relate ko lang before I read yung question ni Paul, because I think this is part of the future direction and recommendations which Teacher Kit showed earlier. Part of which, number 1 is teacher equipping. So the question of Paul is, sino ang magiging teacher for schools? So those who are dedicated in cybersecurity, or the same teachers na nasa school. So medyo highly technical kasi ito to this. So siguro another way siguro to ask is ano yung skills then, if you want to push this to as early as senior high school, then how equipped should the teachers be, up to what level, and how can they siguro part of it is getting mind share from the students, because I think one of the observation is, even in senior high school, the cybersecurity professional is not that known to the students. In fact, yung STEM strand, medyo masyado kasi siyang malawak, wherein if you want to be a doctor, you take the STEM strand. If you want to take engineering, it's the same strand. So how do we put priority, or how do we get mind share from the senior high school students to take that profession?
Well, I think Teacher Kit would be the best to answer.
Yes, sir. Pa-raise pa lang po ako ng hand, Mr. Chair. So, actually, magandang question ito, yung question ni Sir Paul. So, sino magiging teachers for schools? My comment would be, first, depende sa school. So, private school ba yan or public school? Kung public school, it's a whole system that we have to talk about, and it's a big decision coming in din from our Department of Education. If they will see value in this, if they will allow na yun, either the suggestion of Sir Paul also is to have it as a module in one of the subjects. If if they will decide to hire teachers who are really dedicated for cybersecurity. But for me, it would still depend on the context. So, ano ba yung status ng students then? Do they need someone that's highly technical as of the moment? Or do they need someone who knows enough to get them engaged and interested? So, yun din eh. As a teacher, I don't really think that you need someone na super smart, but you need a teacher who will inspire you to get you into the field, to help you understand what you're getting into. So that's for me. So I guess if we're offering it as an elective or a more specialized course, then that's the time when we would need someone who's more technical and more knowledgeable. Kasi kung ano siya, kung pang brief lang yung ano, yung teacher, he or she knows the basics, baka mamaya, syempre, mas marunong pa yung student sa kanya. So kapag mas advanced na yung course, I think that would be the time to get someone who would be more technical on this. For example, teaching reading. So there are teachers who specialize in reading. Pero lahat din ng teachers nakapag-follow up or nakapagturo ng reading on their subject. So that's one thing to consider. So for private schools naman, most private schools I think have their own teachers for certain ICT subjects, for computer related subjects. And yun talaga yung more specialized. But for others, it would really depend on the learner's context. So do they need someone more technical already, or do they need someone to just get them interested in the field? Kasi I think again, going back to cybersecurity as everyone's business, yun nga, we don't need to, there is a big gap, millions, more than millions yung gap, pero hindi naman kailangan maging cybersecurity professional agad lahat. But we should know at least the basics to protect ourselves. So coming from there, if you know that, then you can also share that with your students. But it's a good point also to discuss. And what else? Yung kanina po na basta may certification and may alam sa networking, hinahire nila. So again, that's industry's that's the industry's prerogative, I guess, on who to hire and who to give a chance to. So dito sa Philippines, since yun nga, there's not one unified certification for cybersecurity, the companies would dictate kung ano yung certifications na important to them, what skills would they need, and that would be the basis of their hiring. So again, for this one, we really don't have we don't have exact control over the industries, but we can influence them by sharing studies like this, and by sharing that hindi naman lahat ng cybersecurity professionals ay talagang may ganito to begin with. So sometimes, I know of some people na talagang nursing grad, pero nung nasa hospital, kailangan ng cybersecurity officer. So, nag-adjust. So, it's something that you can learn. So, I hope I answered the question.
Yeah, go ahead, Vice Chair. Go ahead.
Okay. Naisip ko lang as Teacher Kit's talking about the industry preferences in terms of the skills of the graduates or people they want to hire, and that's actually one of the problem. If you look at the overall cybersecurity problem in the world, because if the organizations underestimates the skills required to be cyber resilient, or to have a very strong cybersecurity posture with the right cybersecurity skills, then that's another problem. So, and I think part of our advocacy as well is to educate that industry should be demanding, just like like in the hospitals, di ba? I mean, you specialize for specific medical profession. You need to do that. So you cannot be going to a hospital, you're not a doctor, parang ganon. So same thing with industry. If you need a cybersecurity professional, then you should have all these skills required to be able to perform your job as a real cybersecurity professional, so to speak. So naisip ko lang yan, Mr. Chair.
Well, I think this is a problem of definition, Vice Chair. What are you referring to when what are we referring to when we say you are a cybersecurity professional?
Mm.
Diyan tayo nagkakaroon ng problema ngayon eh. In
Mm.
fact, a cybersecurity professional is a wide profession. Meron
Correct.
tayong cybersecurity professional who are doing sales, but are we talking about them? We're not talking about them. We are not honing people to become cybersecurity salespeople. In fact, nandito si Cheryl, no?
Mm.
Yung comment niya maganda kasi nurse siya,
Mm.
and then she ventured into IT, network yata or IT, and then now cybersecurity.
Mm.
Diba? So, but I'm sure she did not go through a training after graduating her being a nurse, no, into something to become selling network or IT, but she has in her the capability or the talent of selling.
Mm. Tama.
Right? So when we say cybersecurity professionals, what are you? Because there's a lot. There is the
Sales
vendor side, there is the marketing side, there is the operation side, there is the risk side, there is the governance side, and the audit side. Right? So what are we talking about when we say you are a cybersecurity professional? Do you understand operations? No, but I can sell
Mm.
cybersecurity products. So you are a cybersecurity professional, right? So maybe we should start from the basics. And once we've done that, then we can start educating. And then we can start asking ourselves, who's gonna teach?
Mm.
Who are we going to teach? Right? Now the students will have to, if you want to become a cyber risk professional, then these are the levels of knowledge and skills that you need. If you want to become a cybersecurity salesperson, then these are the knowledge or the levels, different tracks,
True.
no? But the baseline is always, to me, it's the interest, you have the discipline, you have the determination, you have a reason. No, that's very important. You have the
Very
reason. You have a
important.
reason to find work, and
Mm.
you have a reason to learn. No, all these things. And I don't really believe that we need to study 4 years, graduate 4 years, 4-year course. I think if we can do that, then we'd be able to contribute to this growing number of required cybersecurity professionals. If we can identify that. Now, an organization, what do you need? For a relatively not normal size organization, what do you need? Well, number one, you need someone who can manage your firewall, manage and operate your firewall, manage and operate your intrusion prevention system, manage and operate your endpoint detection and response. No? And maybe if you are an institution that requires compliance in cybersecurity, then you need someone to develop your policies, your strategies, and then monitor compliance. So different requirements, different layers. But where do we start? Now I can only talk based on my experience. I did not start learning risk. I did not start learning policies. I started on the operations level. And then I decided I need to understand policy, right? But if we have more people teaching in an organized manner, right? So I believe we can really do this. So like what we discussed, Vice Chair, our program is we train,
Mm.
we certify, we send them to internships, and then we mentor.
Yeah, mentorship. Yeah.
4 layers. Then you become hireable, instantly you can hit the ground running. And if we can bring this to the schools, if we can do that, someone at senior, junior high school or senior high school would, decide that he can go to work, then he can work, and then after that he can study more.
Yung TESDA nga, Mr. Chair, di ba? Walang ganyan. So maybe we can start with TESDA, no?
Yeah, TESDA, partner with TESDA or partner with the. Now, if there are teachers who are interested to become a cybersecurity professional doing teaching, then we must have that kind of program also,
Right. So,
right? Because our program now is teaching the students. Maybe we should consider, Vice Chair, creating a program for teachers who are interested to become teachers in cybersecurity. Right? It's very interesting and very timely. Actually, we have a lot of comments here.
okay, magandang topic. Siguro tuloy natin to next time, no, Mr. Chair.
Oh, ang dami. Good afternoon po. Curious lang, paano po yung mga nasa 20 nakapasok po sa cybersecurity? Actually, pumasok ako sa cybersecurity, 22 na ako. So, ano lang yan, lakas ng loob. Ikaw, batiin ko lang pala yung mga ka-brads ko sa Tres Cadenas. Dito yung presidente namin, Kuya Jodel. Magandang hapon. And Kuya John, Paulo. May babatiin ba kayo? BP Alex, tahimik mo naman.
Magandang hapon, Mr. Chair, Vice Chair. Teacher Kate, you look good, ah?
Thank you, sir.
Ganda ng report, Mr. Chair. Ako, I mean, my thoughts about it, natanong yung sino magtuturo. Kasi nire-relate ko rin kanina yung sinasabi mo, Mr. Chair. Ako, dun sa new role na ginagawa ko ngayon sa trabaho ko, I'm sort of like an evangelist, no? Sarang I consider myself as educator. So we are building awareness. And ang magandang nangyari kasi sa akin, Teacher Kit, yun, nanggaling ako una kay Chairman Angel, sa grupo ni Chairman Angel, na-expose ako sa iba-ibang purview or aspect ng cybersecurity. So yun sinasabi ni Mr. Chair, yung operation, dapat alam mo yan, yung risk management, yung internal cybersecurity, yung governance, etc. etc. Now, paglipat ko ngayon sa sales part o sales portion ng cybersecurity, humaharap na ako sa mga customers. So I could feel I have more credibility speaking to these people, educating them about cybersecurity because I see it in action. Ginawa ko siya sa pinakamalaking telco sa Pilipinas. So you bring more credibility, you bring more awareness, pero ako ang objective ko more than selling the product or the solutions to customer. It's more on awareness. Gaya kanina, Mr. Chair, meron akong Bitro tour kanina. So again, yung basic question natin sa mga tao natin, how many assets do you have in your infrastructure? Basic questions. Pero hindi nila masagot, di ba? So kasi wala dun yung importance and proper foundation ng cybersecurity. Babalik tayo sa basics. Yun yung sinasabi ni Mr. Chair, no? And I found it exciting na kapag may operations background ka, mas na-highlight mo and mas na papaliwanag mo na maigi sa customers or sa ibang tao kung paano talaga gumagana. So it is spark interest. Yun yung tama si Teacher Kit eh. Dapat makuha natin yung interest nila first dun sa cybersecurity para makita natin na alam mo yun, pwede pala. So gaya kanina, yung mga ka-meeting ko, IT guys, wala silang cybersecurity na focus na group, no? So sila, naging interesado sila, wow, ang ganda pala ng ginagawa sa cybersecurity kasi dinala namin doon sa SOC, no? So ang purpose nila, IT lang talaga. So you have to open up their mind, elevate the conversation in such a way na you will inculcate the discipline. So para sa akin kasi yung cybersecurity is really a discipline, no? So it's not really a technology, it's not really something that you can learn overnight, but it's a journey, no? It's a journey of continuous learning and continuous appreciation of what's happening around and relating it back to the cybersecurity practice. So, yun yung sa akin, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
Thank you, VP Alex. Ang
Mr. Alex talaga, Mr. Chair.
malupit talaga yan.
So, pwede na siya
Pero-
sa festa.
Pero siguro, Vice Chair, no, it's time a new perspective in cybersecurity education, a new mindset for cybersecurity educators must be established. Kasi if we are going to allow to continue all these existing 1 week certification trainings, which by the way, only those who can afford can attend, and then expect that over 1 week you can convert a newbie into an expert. Then we just today I was reading a lot of incidents related news, no, and I felt disappointed because there is no positive outlook. You know, you get all these articles talking about the threats in 2023, zero trust for companies, zero, but all are articles. There are no actionable items. And the first thing to develop is the workforce, the cyber warriors. You need cyber warriors with the right mindset, right perspective, and the right skills. But first, for us to be able to identify what is the right mindset, what is the right perspective, what are the right skills. So we go back to the basics, we define. And we can only define that if we go back to what the question, what the industry needs.
Yeah.
Right? What the industry needs. I mean, kayo Vice Chair sa Palo Alto, you need good salespeople, you know.
People, yeah. So we alam mo na, we also redefine what a good salespeople is, di ba? So through extensive education and exposure with people who have experience in operations.
Exactly.
Very important. So
yeah, di ba? So it's a two-way process. For everyone for everyone's information, including Teacher Kit, no. So I mentioned earlier the PICSPro Cybersecurity Certified Professional Program, wherein we train, we certify, we send them to internships. So we have, I think, 22 technology partners. We're going to talk to them to ask them to accept interns who will pass the training, pass the certification exam. So at least 2 per company. And then after that, mentoring. Mentoring is where the mindsetting happens. You know. So with that 4 layers, 4 levels of certified cybersecurity program, then when you're done, it's either where you spent your internship, the company will hire you, or you will surely be hired in any company that you will apply for. That is the objective. So it's not a training certification, and then after you get hired, the company will still pay for your training, your certification, and you're only usable after 1 year. No, you hit the ground running. That's the objective. No? And if we can contribute to that in an annual basis, I think that KPI is highly measurable. No? Highly measurable. And on the other side, because the point made by Teacher Kit was very good, we should develop another program, Vice Chair and fellow BODs. No, we should develop another program for teachers who are interested to teach cybersecurity. Right?
yeah. No, I think that's one small step from PICSPro is a giant leap for the Philippines. So I think it's important that we, of course, execute on that this year, Mr. Chair. And I hope that we can scale that, no? Because scalability is an issue. Sabi nga natin, the problem in cybersecurity is systemic, no? And I think when it comes to cybersecurity education, has to be systemic, developmental, just like what the Teacher Kit mentioned, no? So it's a value chain, as you said. And actually, yung training framework natin is already a value chain, so to speak, di ba? Kung kulang ka ng operations, you cannot be going in a SOC, as an example, to be a defender right away. Be skilled at that, no? So it's a value chain. So you
Yeah.
need to be able to complete that value chain at hopefully the optimal level, so that once you're done, then you can go straight to the battlefield, as they say. Because
Yeah,
the
remember in one organization, they need cybersecurity that's on a technical level. They need a cybersecurity person that is on the risk and the level. They need a cybersecurity person that is on the policy and compliance level. And if you are part of the internal audit group or an audit firm, they also need their cybersecurity professional who is into cybersecurity audit perspective. And if you join a company that is into selling cybersecurity related solutions, then they also need a cybersecurity professional there who is going to be into selling. It's a wide range of profession, and they are all called cybersecurity professionals.
Yeah, that's true. But there has to be a foundation, Mr. Chair, di ba?
Yes.
Of which they can blossom to take roles in many different areas, like you mentioned, risk, governance, operations, and things like that. But I think the foundational skill or training or what have you needs to be there, no? As in going back to the basics. So parang strand mo yan, cybersecurity strand, no? So ito yung kailangan mong makuha, and then there could be many different areas where you can blossom and become very good at it, no? Like sabi nga ni Cherry, she's very, very good at sales, but the foundation, nurse siya, pero the foundation has been strong, and now she's very good in sales, no? Top sales daw siya, di ba?
Grabe, medyo lumagpas na tayo.
Oo nga, no? So, kakatawa kasi, Mr. Chair. I think it's very expansive kasi itong topic natin, and a lot of people are very, very concerned about this, very willing to contribute and join that advocacy here. So maybe we can continue.
Yes, diba? So, may mga schools na yung minention si Teacher Kit, Vice Chair, na nag-o-offer ng cybersecurity. Ako, ang laging tanong ko dyan, ano yung perspective, di ba? Ano yung mindset? Can we hire these people, these students, when they graduate? And I always ask kung sinong nagtuturo. Di ba? Kasi kung kilala natin nagtuturo, alam natin kung anong tinuturo niya. Diba? Kung hindi natin kilala yung nagtuturo, baka hindi natin siya naririnig sa industry natin, no? So hindi ibig sabihin na hindi siya magaling, pero baka iba yung perspective na tinuturo, diba? So yun, kailangan ng alignment talaga and standardization, and someone has to take the lead into doing that alignment and standardization. But Teacher Kit, what can you tell our audience as to what you think is the next crucial move?
Ang dami actually, sir, na pwedeng crucial move kasi since yun nga po, it's been mentioned several times today na talagang systemic siya, systemic problem. So siguro ang masasabi ko po, maybe one crucial move at a time yung pwede nating magawa, like within where we are as of the moment. So ngayon with PICSPro, this is what we're doing. We're spreading awareness. It's our advocacy to be like at the front line of discussions like this. We are trying to inspire companies, schools, teachers to get involved and to be interested in this para pag, yun na, kasi all of these initiatives would cater to them. So, the training frameworks, the training for teachers, di ba? Parang we need people who really are interested. So, if you're a person, dami ko ring nakitang comments, Mr. Chair, na paano pumasok sa cybersecurity, anong mga kailangan. So, if you're a person who's interested, first move, yun nga, you can make a move wherever you are. Kung saan man yung situation mo. If you're an individual, if you're from a company, you can do something. So, if you're an individual looking to get into cybersecurity, then research, parang do your due diligence of how you can get to the industry then. So we mentioned a few a while ago. So try to get yourself more interested, get to know the field based on what you can search or what you can find. Sa atin, I like also how Mr. Chair and our members today, sina Sir Oscar, sina Sir Alexis mentioned na it's really not just skill. So, ano siya, mindset, heart, yung work, parang work ethic. Work ethic, I guess, would be a big thing then in terms of cybersecurity. So, with that, parang if you're aspiring to be a cybersecurity professional, yun yung huwag kayong matakot kasi it's not just always about skills and it's not always just about knowing. So that's one takeaway that I got from the session also. So next big move, ano pa sir, medyo yun nga, it's another thing that I just popped into my head while you were discussing with Sir Oscar is we also need lawmakers and policymakers who will back us up in this initiative. Kasi tayo, we're doing our part, but di ba, it's helpful if the system sees value in what we're doing. Kasi it's not just, it should not just be us. It should be a unified thing. Other people, especially those who can decide or those whose decisions have an impact. Talagang kailangan natin.
Whole of nation approach.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that
So,
deserves another Casey session.
Yes.
So, very,
World-
very promising, Vice Chair. Kasi, di ba, bukang bibig ng presidente natin ngayon is
Exactly.
both digitalization and cybersecurity. And yung sa Davos, sabi niya, strengthen daw ng Pilipinas ang cybersecurity. Di ba? So that is very doable. We just hope the president is getting people with the right mindset, the right perspective, and that is truly for the national interest natin. No? So yun lang ang ating ano. But then on our level, we do what we can do. May nagtanong kanina kung may bayad daw yung program natin. So walang bayad yun, but then you will have to be nominated. You need to be nominated by the chapter officer or by a chapter. So right now we only have a few chapters. So sila yung magbibigay. Depending on the appetite of our technology partners, we are looking at launching 20 per session. No? So I think we decided to have 3 parallel sessions. So that would be 60 participants all in all. So hopefully this year, no, we can produce 60 cybersecurity operators, tawag natin sa kanila, because they are focused on operations. No? And then next year, we can measure that if they are hireable. So dapat makita natin na na-hire silang 60, no? Kahit hindi pa sila pumasa sa board exam or kung anong mga ano nila, no? So if they are, so number one measure is, will they be hireable? Number 2 is how quick or how fast can they be hired, diba? So that's another measure. And then we will continue that practice growing. So we will ask our technology partners to become part of that program. So it's free. We will try our best to convince our technology partners to give their trainings, their certifications, and their internships for free, so that the participants can enjoy. And we will encourage a nationwide participation. So we have a chapter in Bacolod, we have a chapter in Davao. We will be activating our chapter in Dagupan City, and we will be visiting our chapter and reactivating the La Union chapter, no? And then NCR chapter. So that will be our start of our producing a cybersecurity professional. So I think we are already 11 minutes off our time, Mr. Vice Chair. May I ask our BP Ricky,
Yeah. Yan pala
would
si
you like to say something?
Hi,
Or
Mr.
you're
Chair. Yeah, I'm here. I'm here. I'm listening
Yeah, go
lang.
ahead.
Very good. Very good ang conversation. It was very informative. Actually, I'm quite impressed with Teacher Kit, kasi of the study, and a lot of what she said are things that are, I would put it this way na lang, Mr. Chair, is that yung mga hindi nare-realize ng marami. For example, cybersecurity is not a much talked about profession pagdating sa mga high schoolers or college students, no? Well, in fact, I would think that in the next 5 years, this would be the major demand sa atin, especially with the growing concern on cybersecurity. So what she's doing, and the rest of us who are trying our best to really educate not just the professionals but also the layman, yung mga yung mga simpleng tao. Ano ba yung cybersecurity? Sabi nga ng Teacher Kit, kailangan relatable siya, no? Relatable. It is our role now to really bring it to the grassroots and also put some simplicity to it. Actually, ako minsan pag may kausap ako, I try to make an analogy para bang para lang maintindihan, kasi pag sinabi mo nga yung term cybersecurity, medyo high tech, highfalutin word, no? Pero once you give an example of why it is important, naiintindihan na. And I agree with Teacher Kit then. We really have to start the educators, equipping them. And it would help also now when they are equipped and start talking to the students become also interested with cybersecurity, and it can become one of their choices in senior high and also in college, as a path. It doesn't have to be you don't have to be an IT graduate, but it is something that probably would keen the interest of a lot of our fresh grads, kahit na anong field of education mo. So yun yung sa akin, eye-opener, Mr. Chair and Vice Chair. And thank you, Teacher Kit, for such a wonderful study and presentation.
Thank you, VP Ricky, and ingat ka sa pagmamaneho. Okay, Teacher Kit, last words so we can release our
final.
Yes, our audience.
final word.
Yes. Thank you, VP Ricky. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you, VP Oscar, and thank you, VP Alex and VP Mia. And also thank you for PICSPro for initiating this study. So because it's, I think, one of the firsts of its kind, and it's really whatever we will find naman in this research, or whatever we found in this research and whatever we will find in future researches will surely have an impact in the academe, in the industry, everywhere. So talagang siya, since it's a system, if one moves, then all of the others moves. So this is also why I was saying earlier na the next big move, since I am studying developmental psych then, mas natatrain kami na where you are, you can move. So if you're I will just repeat it na, if you're an individual, if you're a decision maker in a company, if you're a decision maker in a school, move something where you are. So if you move as a person, you will influence others around you. If you move your organization, you will influence your people. So I guess if we cannot change the whole system overnight, at least meron tayong masimulan kung nasan tayo. Kung hindi man sa iba, sa atin muna. Like within ourselves. So it does not apply lang sa cybersecurity, pero siya in all aspects of your life. So I guess that's my takeaway now. So if you're a teacher wanting to get interested in cybersecurity, go. And eventually, yun, it is our hope that the whole system moves. And someday, yung mga nilista nating future direction, future goals, yun, what we envision for cybersecurity in the Philippines, it will happen. And that's all for me. Thank you again for this opportunity and for allowing us to do this study.
Thank you, Teacher Kit. VP Alex.
Oh, sa akin, Mr.
Takeaway.
Chair, realization and takeaway after the presentation of Teacher Kit and reading the report offline. So, cybersecurity education is a critical, inflection point na ngayon sa bansa. With the with the direction of the new president to focus on digitalization and cybersecurity, this will be part of the transformation. Very important, no? Kaya I agree, dapat simulan na to. Kaya tayo sa PICSPro sinimulan natin i-baseline na ngayon, no? So hopefully susunod ma-move forward natin to na tama si Mr. Chair, yung mga curriculum na. Ano na yung mga curriculum na dapat matutunan with our inputs kasi meron tayong experience sa industry, may mga member tayo sa PICSPro na practitioner, actual practitioner sa industry na makapagbigay ng input. And tama rin si Teacher Kit, maybe sa tulong ni President A sa legislative form, ma-push to sa taas, no? And it's an end-to-end. Kaya dapat magtulungan yung buong community ng cybersecurity because this will dictate the future of cybersecurity in the Philippines. So let's help each other. So hopefully, Mr. Chair, magkaroon ng session 2 to. Mapakagandang topic.
Definitely. Thank you, VP Alex. And the ever beautiful VP Mia.
Thank you, Mr.
Hindi ka na
Chair.
pala VP Mia. BOD ka na lang. Board of Director Mia.
Yes. For me, Mr. Chair, just one key takeaway, no, a realization when Mr. Vice Chair mentioned about the foundation, no. Because in any profession, rather, no, not just in cybersecurity, the foundation has to be there, and it has to be a strong foundation, right? And if today there is it's not clear how we define what cybersecurity is or what a cybersecurity profession is, then clearly, no, there's something wrong and we need to do something about it. That's all, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, VP BOD, Board of Director Mia. And Mr. Vice Chair, your wisdom.
So this, sabi ko nga kanina, this small chat of ours, no, and I enjoyed everybody who are present here. It's a big leap, no, for cyber security education in the Philippines, no, and for us this giant leap will help us achieve our goal of making cybersecurity education or cybersecurity profession as a mainstream profession in the Philippines, no, just like the others, no. So if we can do that, then I think we are ready to become digital Pilipina, sabi nga. So kaya I think I enjoyed everybody and people who you will be touching later on to join us, no, in making this giant leap, no, to meet our goal. Yan lang, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Vice Chair. So first, thank you, Teacher Kit, for not giving up. I know the difficulties you went through, and it really paid off. No, the idea proposed by our national president Ashley or Ace to have this study. Now we have a clear data, and with that we can start better. Right? We can start the right way. We can start in the right perspective because we have data. We now have data. And it's time for us, no? Tama na yung summit, conferences, KC na hindi natin na may measure. Lagi pa rin tayong sinasabihan na very vulnerable, kulang tayo sa mga cybersecurity professionals. So it's time to do something about it. And your PICSPro family is going to start doing the little thing for these issues to be addressed. No, as mentioned during this KC more than once, it requires a whole of nation approach. It requires everyone to work together. It's an end-to-end process. We cannot break the value chain. No, if one chain is broken or not functioning, the whole process will be impacted. And we all start with producing the right cyber security professional. And for us to do that, we need to also focus on the students, the school, and the teachers. After that, then we can focus on the professional level. So cybersecurity, remember we are still in January 20, and if you have been following hacking and successful compromise incidents, it's mind-boggling, no? Since January 1. And we are still in January. And the victims are not small companies. These are big companies. Today, T-Mobile has been compromised again, no? And I think it's the 8th time that this company has been compromised, no? So what is wrong? No, obviously the enemies are getting better, and that's why we cannot afford to waste time. We also need to get better. No? Kaya sa frustration ko, nag-post ako sa LinkedIn, you join only if we band together, no? So you join the brotherhood, you join the CISO brotherhood. No? We call everyone doing cybersecurity, we call them CISO. To elevate the mindset. Diba? Elevate the mindset to strategic, down to tactical level. So there is a big challenge, and we in PICSPro has always been taking up to the challenge. No, hopefully we can contribute with your help, with your assistance. Together we make this year 2023 a better and safer cyberspace for everyone, not only in the Philippines but for the country. So good afternoon everyone, and it's Friday. Sabi nila, happy weekend. Pero sa cybersecurity, walang weekend. Happy lang. Okay.
Alright.
Happy Chinese New Year.
Happy Chinese New Year. Thank you.
Miss
Shout
you.
out kay Kuya Buboy, yung isang brother din sa Agila. Nagpa-shout out na inggit eh.
Kasi Miss Jen daw, si President Jen, andyan din, Mr. Chair.
Hi, Pres Jen. Good evening, Pres Jen. Andiyan ka pala. Hope to see you na now in next event natin. So, maraming salamat sa lahat at Vice Chair, thank you, VP Mia, Director Mia, and Teacher Kit, VP Ricky. Good evening.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Alright.
Thank you.
Happy weekend. Bye.